Imagine being worth over $800 billion and choosing to live in a house smaller than most apartments. A fleet of private jets worth over $100 million, but no yacht. That is Elon Musk in 2026, the richest human being who has ever lived and one of the most unusual billionaires the world has produced. As of March 2026, Forbes places his net worth at $839 billion. Bloomberg's estimate is lower, closer to $676 billion. The difference comes down to how each index values his private companies. By either measure, he is more than 3 times richer than the second wealthiest person on the planet, Google co-founder Larry Page. His fortune grew by over $500 billion in a single year. No individual in recorded history has accumulated wealth at that pace. His main residence is a small prefabricated structure near the SpaceX Starbase facility in Boca Chica, Texas. It was manufactured by a startup called Boxable. The entire home covers roughly 375 square feet. Inside, there is a small kitchen, a foldable bed, and a compact living area. Musk has said the place is worth about $50,000, and he rents it from SpaceX. In March 2026, his mother May shared a post showing the interior. She noted there was no food in the fridge and only one towel in the shower. When she visits, she said she sleeps in the garage. That is the primary home of a man whose wealth exceeds the gross domestic product of most nations. It was not always this way. Between 2012 and 2020, Musk owned several mansions in Bel Air, one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Los Angeles. His main estate had 7 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, a 2-story library, a wine cellar, a home theater, and a tennis court. He paid around $17 million for it and later sold it for $29 million. He also purchased the former home of actor Gene Wilder and converted it into a small private school for his children. When the time came to sell the Wilder house, he included one condition for the buyer. The house could not be torn down, and its soul had to remain intact. Between 2015 and 2017, he acquired 4 more properties in the same Bel Air area. The total value of his California real estate exceeded $100 million. Then, in 2020, he posted on social media that he intended to sell almost all of his physical possessions and own no house. He followed through. Every property was sold within roughly a year. His current living arrangement is a prefabricated box beside a rocket factory. The minimalism has limits, though. In October 2024, the New York Times reported that Musk had quietly acquired properties in Austin, Texas, valued at roughly $35 million. The estate reportedly includes a 14,400 square foot mansion designed to resemble a Tuscan villa, with a 6-bedroom house directly behind it. According to the report, his intention was for his children and 2 of their mothers to live in close proximity across the connected properties. Neuralink executive Siobhan Zilis, who shares 3 children with Musk, was said to already be living in one of the homes. Musk denied the story, telling Page Six that no grand family compound had been built or was expected to be built. Public records, however, linked him to the purchases. His family has grown considerably. As of early 2026, Musk has 14 children, born to at least 5 different women. 5 sons came from his first marriage to author Justine Wilson. 3 children with musician Grimes, 3 with Neuralink executive Siobhan Zilis, a son with media figure Ashley St. Clair, and additional children whose details have emerged over the past 2 years. Several of the names reflect his personality. One child is named X, another is Exa Dark Sideral, another goes by Technomechanicus. His travel operation matches the scale of his business empire. Musk's companies are spread across Texas, California, and Florida, and managing them requires constant movement. He owns a fleet of private jets, registered under a company called Falcon Landing, a name taken from the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. His primary aircraft is a Gulfstream G 650ER, purchased in 2016 for roughly $70 million. It has a range of over 7,500 nautical miles, enough to fly non-stop from Singapore to San Francisco. In 2018, flight records showed he logged more than 150,000 miles on that single aircraft. That is the equivalent of circling the Earth more than 6 times in 1 year. His fleet also includes two Gulfstream G550S and a Dassault Falcon 900B. The newest addition is a Gulfstream G700, the largest purpose-built private jet in existence. It costs $78 million. The interior holds 5 separate living areas, a master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, a dining room, and seating for up to 19 passengers. 2 Rolls-Royce engines power the aircraft, which cruises at 51,000 feet, well above commercial traffic. The total estimated value of his jet fleet is over $100 million. Flight tracking data from 2023 recorded 441 flights across his aircraft, totaling more than 48 days in the air. His jets consumed over 500,000 gallons of fuel that year. A leaked internal guide from a cyber attack on the private aviation company NetJets revealed specific preferences. Musk keeps his cabin temperature at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, with dim lighting and silenced air vents due to noise sensitivity. His cars are modest by comparison. He drives Tesla vehicles, primarily the Model S Plaid, which accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. He also uses a Cybertruck. The most notable car he ever purchased was a Lotus Esprit, the submarine car from the James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me. He bought it at auction in 2013 for just under $1 million. He later said he was disappointed it could not actually convert into a submarine, and he told his engineers to make that happen. One asset category Musk has avoided entirely is yachts. Jeff Bezos spent roughly $500 million on his sailing yacht, Kourou. Larry Ellison owns a fleet of super yachts. Musk has never purchased one. He has stated publicly that he does not take conventional vacations and prefers working. Multiple reports describe him sleeping at his factories and at the headquarters of X, his social media platform formerly known as Twitter. During Tesla production surges, former employees described him sleeping on the factory floor so workers could see him during shift changes. Nearly all of his time is dedicated to his companies. He runs or holds controlling stakes in Tesla, SpaceX, X, xAI, Neuralink, and The Boring Company. In February 2026, SpaceX completed a merger with his artificial intelligence venture xAI in a deal that valued the combined entity at $1.25 trillion. Musk holds between 42 and 44% of the merged company, making it his most valuable single asset. A potential SpaceX initial public offering later in 2026 could value the company at $1.5 trillion. The composition of his wealth explains a great deal about how he operates. Nearly 95% of his fortune exists as unrealized equity, not liquid cash. A 10% move in Tesla's share price shifts his net worth by $20 to $28 billion in a single trading session. In 2020, his total fortune sat at roughly $27 billion. By early 2026, it had grown nearly 30-fold. That rate of wealth creation has no historical precedent. His personal spending remains a fraction of what his fortune would allow. A rented prefabricated house, no super yacht, Teslas in the driveway. His most significant personal expenditure is his jet fleet, and even that serves his work schedule. The rest flows back into his companies. SpaceX, Tesla, xAI, and Neuralink all require enormous capital, and Musk has consistently reinvested rather than extracted. That pattern traces back to 2008, when both Tesla and SpaceX were weeks away from shutting down. Musk put his last available cash into both companies. He borrowed money from friends to cover his rent. A decade and a half later, that decision produced the largest personal fortune ever recorded. Elon Musk in 2026 is defined by contradiction. A man who could purchase nearly anything on Earth, sleeping in a converted garage beside a rocket, $100 million in private jets, but no yacht. 14 children across multiple households, and no permanent family residence he will publicly acknowledge. He is, by any measure, unlike anyone else alive.